you're right, you're right, you're right. People love to be right. How many of you want to sell more products? How do you grow a business? Top line, move the top line, sell businesses.
I don't want to waste more than 5 minutes on $3,000.
The question is, what if I want to monetize my content ideas?
It's going to be a great product and a great service. You don't need to go prove it. The last 35 years I've spent literally researching the tips and secrets of the wealthy. And I put together a program so that you could learn exactly what I've researched for 35 years, what the wealthy do that other people don't do. People that didn't even start out with an idea of what they were going to do. If you continue to make the moves that most people make, you will never have money, you will never have financial freedom. It's just not possible.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Cardone Zone, and on Thursdays at noon, the show is Young Hustlers, where we give you weekly tips on how you can get ahead in life and accelerate your path to getting where you want to go. If you want to call the show today, 305-865-8668, 305-865-8668. My name is Jared Glant, and if y'all don't know who I am, I've had the opportunity to work next to Grant Cardone, the Grant Cardone, for the last 8 years. And, you know, I got to tell you, it's completely changed my life. I've got vision I didn't have before. I have perspective I didn't have before. I understand goals like I never did before. And, man, it's been such an amazing thing for me. And everybody needs to find somebody like Grant that can really help and mentor them. And, you know, give them the information and the data that they never had growing up. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like my parents weren't rich. You know, like my parents were told the same story that most everybody's parents told them. You know, 401ks, you know, buy a home, you know, buy 2 cars. You know, stay in one place, don't move, you know, like all these stories that continue to perpetuate through generations. And I had to come across some information from this guy, Grant, that really disrupted all that. You see, like, you got to be careful who you're getting information from, because the person that you're getting information from may have a different end result than you're looking for. You know, like if the 4-hour work week, for example, I know it's not a 4-hour work week and it's about outsourcing and everything, but maybe you want to be involved. Maybe you want to have some place to show up to every day. Like I show up to this office every day. It feels good, man. We got a lot of people here. They're all committed to doing something big, and it feels good. Like, you know, my thing, you know, do I want to be on the perpetual vacation? I got to do something, man. When I go on vacation, I get bored. And so I had to get advice from somebody that was actually like in line with where I wanted to go. So today's show is going to be about how to pull your future forward. This was a very important thing for me because I have very little patience. When I finally decided and got committed to wanting to do something big, like When I really understood how much money it's going to take for me to have like the lifestyle that I wanted, and I started thinking bigger, I was like, man, I don't want to wait till I'm 60 for this. Have you guys ever like experienced that where you're like, man, dude, I don't want to wait till I'm an old man to like have money. Like, I don't want to wait until, you know, all my good years have passed me before I can actually enjoy things and go on vacations. And I got to tell you, like once you get committed to the big thing, that next thing that you're going to need to confront is, how do I make it happen faster? And so for me, I was like, man, I was calculating how to make this thing fast, how to make this thing go fast. And I got some really good news this week. I'll share you guys with you guys. I'm not boasting. I'm doing this because I want to share with you what is possible if you get committed to the right things. I've been investing in real estate deals with Grant for the last 6 years, 5.5 years. The first 3 deals that I invested in with Grant, the first deal I gave him $100,000, the second deal I gave him $150,000, and the third deal I gave him $185,000. And that was every penny that I had. And when I wrote that first check for $100,000 and I started getting the little cash flow checks every month, I was like, man, I thought this would feel different, right? Like I get like a $500 check, a $600 check. I'm like, I felt like investing $100,000 would feel a lot different than that, and I couldn't understand it, and I got so impatient. I was like, man, if I got to do this $100,000 at a time and $100,000 at a time, it's going to take me forever to get where I want to go. But I kept focus on the target, which was, dude, I want to get a bunch of money packed away in real estate so that I have passive income. So I kept hustling and grinding because I knew that my primary source of income, my job, was going to be the thing that funded the real estate investment. So some things happened and some good things happened with the deal, and I was able to get some money, make some more money, and I was able to make my second investment with $150,000. Now I got 2 checks coming. So now I can start now I got like $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 a month, sometimes $1,400, $1,500 a month coming in. And I'm like, wow, okay, you know, like I'm making, at this time I was probably making like 16 or 17 or 18 grand a month or something like that. But I was packing everything away. Like I still drove my mom's busted ass Lexus that she gave me that would turn off while I was driving down the road. But like, I was still like paying $800 a month for rent, like not buying stuff. Like I was still packing everything that I made away. And the third deal came along and I invested some more money. And so that was, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And today, those 3 first deals that I was so impatient about and I couldn't see the future on those deals, we had 2 that refinanced and 1 that sold, and I'm going to get a check for almost $1.1 million in cash. And the best part is that it's a non-taxable event. $1 million cash free. 5 years ago, I would have never thought that would be what I'm saying today 5 years later, right? Because in the moment, you get so impatient. And so, like, the lesson that I learned was, dude, you got to do things in order to pull your future forward. Because if you're on board with the fact that you want to make it big and you want to get rich, but you don't want to wait, you have to start doing things now that you may not see the result from until down the road. Like I had no way of knowing that when I wrote that check for $100,000 on that first deal, that investment would pay me $500,000 5 years later. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about to help you pull your future forward. The very first thing that you need to do in order to pull your future forward is you've got to have a mentor. Like I didn't have the information or the knowledge or the skill to do the real estate thing. I didn't have that. I had to have somebody that taught me that. So, fortunately I had Grant. I never asked him about this. I just watched and listened. Same thing you guys are doing right now. You watch, you listen, you follow. Like you don't need to be in the room face to face with somebody for them to be your mentor. Mentors will change your game forever. When we get back from the break, I'm going to cover a few more of these points. Very important because I want to pull your future forward and get you where you want to go faster. This is Young Hustlers.
Wealth Dynamics believes everyone has the God-given right to own their potential. Most of us don't because we spend 40 hours per week serving the 40-year-to-life sentence, trading our precious time for worthless paper called money. We live on an economic planet and time and money do need to be exchanged, but it doesn't need to be your time or your money. We teach our clients to secure income-producing assets that make the time and money exchange for you so you can buy your freedom back and live a life of abundance and prosperity. To get there, we must know how to make money, how to keep it, and how to multiply it. Wealth Dynamics provides coaching, education, accountability, and community to help help you build wealth. Join our coaching program, get educated on Wealth Dynamics University, and begin networking with the Wealth Dynamics Mastermind Group today. To get started, go to wealthdynamics.com. Introducing the fastest growing e-commerce platform in fitness, gymfoodstore.com. Brought to you by Harvard-trained MD entrepreneur and specialist in rehabilitation and regenerative medicine, David Carley, along with Zoe Bedford, experience in distribution and product development. Gym Food Store is your online marketplace for nutrition and sport supplementation. We give you access to the most effective products and nutrition, all while providing expert reviews and user education. Gym Food Store is here to help you identify and validate product selection so that you are not wasting money or time on products that are simply subpar. Learn more at gymfoodstore.com. That's gymfoodstore.com right now.
Automatons, or artificial beings capable of independent thought, have been a fixture of science fiction, literature, and motion pictures throughout time.
Today, the convergence of technology and imagination has reached new heights, which are reflected in the advancements that we see in every area of our lives. Over the last couple of years, AI machines have made their way into our homes, the battlefield, our workplace, and even into our hands in the form of smartphones with voice recognition. Digital assistants for the home represent an opportunity if you know how to take advantage of them. That is where Nico's Computer Engineering comes in. Tim Clark brings you the latest news about the most up-to-date strategies to position yourself in the digital landscape, finding a path to productive business applications and how to automate them with artificial intelligence are just a few of the topics we cover in our weekly segments.
Nico's Computer Engineering is here to find a unique solution for you.
The last 35 years, I've spent literally researching the tips and secrets of the wealthy. And I put together a program so that you could learn exactly what I've researched for 35 years, what the wealthy do that other people don't do. People that didn't even start out with an idea of what they were going to do. If you continue to make the moves that most people make, you will never have money, you will never have financial freedom. It's just not possible.
Hey, what's going on? We're back, Young Hustlers. The show today is about how to pull your future forward. Word of warning for anybody listening. Warning, warning. The purpose of this show and the information that we talk about in this show is for people that want to take extraordinary actions in order to get down the path faster, right? Like most people are saying, how do I get to $2 or $3 million by the time I'm 60? I'm trying to be like, how do I get to $2 or $3 million this year? You know, and then I change my action and I start putting a plan in place. So I talked before the break about the value of a mentor, like the value of exchange and transfer of information from people who are already at or well beyond where you want to go in life. One of the most important things. So for me, like I have a mentor. His name's Grant. You know, do I ask him for advice all the time? Hey man, how should I do this? What should I do with this? If you were me, I could count literally on probably one hand the amount of times I've asked him for help like that. The most recent thing that I can ask him about is a relationship, like my marriage. Like I'm not asking about money. I'm not asking about any of that stuff. I'm like, hey dude, what's up with the marriage thing, man? So I can't emphasize enough the value of having somebody that can share information. So you guys got to stay close to Grant. Like you gotta look at the things he does and says. I mean, and I'll tell you, the guy has a great time. Like he has fun. You know, like he would have a lot more fun if it wasn't for me. Because I'm always like, man, we can't do that. Don't post that there. Don't do that. It's not appropriate. We can't. Like he likes to have a good time. He likes to have fun. And so when I look at him, I'm like, man, he makes a brick of money, and he has a great time doing it. Like that's what I want to do. I want to make a ton of money, and I want to have a great time doing it. So I'm just watching, and I'm learning, and I know when he gets serious, and I know how he looks at real estate, and I know how he treats money, and I know how he treats his family. Like I look at all those things. I'm watching. I'm looking at the same stuff you guys are. So number one, you've got to have a mentor. Number two, you have to belong to a group. This is probably one of the more difficult things to do. To have a group of people around you that actually can support you. For most of us, we don't have relationships with our parents, number one, where they could communicate this information about doing big things fast. And then number two, we probably don't want to listen to them anyways because they're our parents, Like, I'll find reasons why my parents, whatever they tell me is wrong. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, no, man, right? My dad tells me something, Grant tells me something, I'm like, yeah, you're right, Grant. Dad, you don't know nothing, Dad. No, I love my dad, he's awesome. But you got to belong to a group. You have to have a group of people that are like-minded, that are willing to support and encourage and be with you on the ride through the ups and downs, because accelerating the path to your future is not it's not the easy street. It's not, cruising in the car down the road. It's taking every gear to red line, like driving on the borderline of out of control all the time. That's what you have to do in order to get where you want to go faster. So if you feel like you're in mellow mode in your life, dude, you're never going to be there. You're never going to get to the point where you're really cracking things and you're really knocking years off of how long it's going to take you to reach your goal. You got to be, I used to ride a motorcycle, dirt bike, all the time. Every weekend we'd go ride. I was always out of control on that thing. I was on the verge of crashing all the time, And so that's how you have to approach this thing. You got to be willing to go all in. I've spent, over the last 2 weeks, I've been on probably 6 or 7 planes, overnight flights, hotels, families, funerals, working on stuff that we have going on in the office. That's just the game, dude. That is what success is. And so because it's difficult, you need people that are willing to freaking crack on you. My guy Dave Robards, he's like, I just went and told him, I'm like, hey dude, you know how much money I made this week on real estate deals? $1 million. Cash, bro, in hand. And he's like, wow, man, because it feels like it's taken forever. I'm like, yeah, I was in the same position. You made that first investment 6 months ago. Dude, my first investment was made almost 4 years ago, and I'm just experiencing this. So in the moment, what you guys got to understand is it's going to seem like it's forever away, and that's why you've got to get a little bit freaking out of control with what you're doing, moving towards those targets. And you got to say yes to the meeting at 6 a.m. That means that you got to fly in, the night before, and that night before you were just coming back from another trip, and you got to go out in every direction so aggressively. And when you come back and you have family that isn't supportive, or friends that aren't supportive, or people that just they're not helping you along the way, they're trying to give you a reason to back off, dude, it's gonna delay how long it takes you to get where you want to go. And if you want to be to the destination, whatever you want to call this thing, dude, you got to go all in, and you got to move fast, and you got to have people around you that are going to support you. Our group here, it's my job, right? But this group in this office, everybody wants to do something more. They all want more here. We got 120 people here. Everybody wants to do more. There may be 3 or 4 that are just kind of whatever, but every day this message is infiltrating our office and our space. And then I get connected to people around the country, whether it's Las Vegas or New York or Chicago or Texas, Dallas, Texas, whatever. I get connected with people that are I'm like, okay, hey man, these are people that they want to do more. They're not just takers, right? They can give back in some way. It'll be there'll be a cycle, right? So dude, I'm always looking for people that I can bring into my group that we can help and learn from each other and elevate. So you got to belong to a group. And if you can't find that group at home, and you can't find that group with your friends and family in your own city, you've got to find that group somewhere. We got a big group of people. We got this ambassador program right here, right now. And the purpose of that is to bring a group of people together with a common goal, common target, like-minded. You can go grantcardone.com/ambassador if you want to get hooked up for it. This is by far the best deal we offer every single year because of what we're trying to accomplish with it. We're trying to create people that go from average to extraordinary in a very compressed period of time. And we can actually call them ambassadors because of the success they've had with our programs, that they do something massive. This program gives you Cardone University, $19,000. It gives you a ticket to the Growth Conference. It gives you access to a private Facebook group. It gives you access to weekly coaching and mentoring from Grant. Dude, this program, you literally can't buy it anywhere else. The seats at GrowthCon, you can't buy them anywhere else. Cardone University is 10 grand on our website right now, and you can get access to the mentor program for $995 and get everything. It's literally a giveaway. It's a loser for us because of what the bigger purpose of what we're trying to accomplish. So, like, get plugged into a group. If it ain't this group, find a group. But I know what this group's all about. We meet every week on Tuesday. When we get back from the break, I'm going to go over the last point, very important, how to pull your future forward this week on Young Hustlers. Hustler, 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 hustler.
I've doubled my business in the first probably 2 months of the program.
Before the program, I was struggling to find leads and really build my network marketing business. Now, since being in the program, I'm number 16 right now on the leaderboard in my company with hundreds of thousands of promoters.
Hey, welcome to our Friday mentoring show. Welcome. Jared Glant here. Good to have you guys here. We got a bunch of people joining us around the world.
98% of you said that you'd do the group again. Would you do the group again?
You guys need to be here at the next GrowthCon and take advantage of the mentor group. Just an amazing, life-changing experience.
The big thing about this group I want to tell everybody is the people I've met. I've expanded my network so far already, I can't even explain to you I was in this little shell.
Growing your future, protecting your past. J.D. Frost & Company, PLLC, is a public accounting firm. Offers a variety of assurance and tax services to businesses and individuals in the Chattanooga and surrounding areas. We focus on construction and manufacturing industries. Our primary objective is client satisfaction through excellent customer service. Work with the best. We are accredited by the BBB. This is J.D. Frost & Company for a full suite of tax assurance and management accounting services. Visit us right now at frostcpas.com.
The more comfortable you get with yourself, the less scary it is for people to actually see you.
We all know as parents that there's nothing more powerful than a mother's love. And how can I be that extraordinary parent for my kids?
And how kind we are to each other.
The more that you love you, the less you care if others love you.
The idea is to really just choose to be with yourself. The challenges and the struggles and the frustrations and the self-doubt and insecurities can often keep us from living. We can master our lives from the inside out.
Based out of Jacksonville, Florida, this family-owned husband and wife team of realtors is there to serve you, track every process step by step, get you from contract into your new home or out of your current home sold and on the market. Chad and Sandy Newman will take you, market your home, and make sure that you will receive the best customer service ever. They're going to sell your property above market value in 30 days or less. With over 12 years of experience, this team is there for you. To learn more, go to chadandsandy.com. That's chadandsandy.com right now.
All right, we're back, Young Hustlers. I want to get to the phones. They're all lit up right now. We're talking about how to bring your future forward, get where you want to go faster, accelerate your journey. Who do we got, Kelvin?
We have Mo from Canada.
Mo from Canada. What's going on, Mo? Hey, yo, Mo, thanks for calling the show.
For sure. Yo, I've actually been in a struggle lately. Just couldn't decide what to do. So I'm a marketer. I've learned marketing in the past 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And now it's time to get more clients, right?
Yeah.
However, to get clients, I need to know sales, right? Growing up, I was very passionate about sales. I really wanted to learn it. But, where I live right now, door-to-door sales are almost illegal, right? No soliciting signs everywhere and whatnot. And so I've stuck to the cold calling approach. And so far, it hasn't been going that well. I haven't been getting in touch with the decision makers. Instead, like with their people. I've gone in meetings with their people, but it hasn't worked out. So I've been thinking whether I should learn sales or hire people that could help me out and pay them commission.
Well, both. If you plan on starting a business, sales is going to be a big part of it. You're going to be negotiating salaries. You're going to be negotiating leases. You're going to be negotiating with vendors. You're going to be negotiating with customers. Like, sales will be a part of your life no matter what you do if you live on planet Earth.
For sure.
So you've got to learn that first. Okay. The second thing is, yes, you should definitely hire salespeople and pay them commission, because that's how you can grow and expand, right? Like, salespeople don't cost you money; they make you money. So I would say do both. If you haven't taken sales courses or anything like that, dude, you got to get on that, because you're on an economic planet, and the people that can talk and communicate and persuade and get what they want in situations are the ones that win big. So thank you for the call. Mo from Canada. Who do we got next? Canada.
So next we got Julian from Baltimore.
Julian from Baltimore. What's going on, Jay?
Hey, how are you, man?
Good, man. What's up?
Nothing. First I want to just say thank you so much for all of the insight that you give. I really appreciate your story. Obviously, Grant's story is phenomenal, but your story also is great. And I just want to thank you guys for all that you do. I do have a question, though.
Yep.
So I'm seen as a nice guy in my industry as far as when people talk to me, interact with me. I know they just see me as a nice guy, and I want to get away from that, be able to close people, and not just say, "Oh, you're such a nice guy," and actually be able to apply a little more pressure, and not just be seen as a nice guy, but to close it.
Yeah, well, like that has nothing to do with you being a nice guy. It just has to do with you not knowing what to do or say in the situation. I mean, like I'm a nice guy too, but like I have technique, like I have word tracks, like I understand where I'm at in the deal and how I need to get things done. Like, to be a closer, you don't have to be a dick. Like I think people think that they have to have this big change in who they are as a person in order to be successful in sales. Like, dude, if you're quiet, if you're extroverted, if you're a strong personality, if you're more supportive, like, dude, it doesn't matter. It's like following a recipe in the kitchen. I don't need to be a professional chef to follow a recipe. If you tell me the ingredients and how to cook it, all you got to do is follow the instructions. So sales isn't a personality-based thing. It's a technique-based thing. It's a skill-based thing. Like, you just got to learn how to do the things in the process and ask the right questions, show the product in a way that actually solves problems for the customer, tailor the presentation around their needs, and then ask them for the business. Like, I don't know why people think this is so hard. Like, it's about understanding A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. Like, step A, what do I need to do? Step B, what do I need to do? And then you got to get in the ring and repeat it enough to where it becomes fluid. The one question that you need to add to your sales repertoire, anybody who has like any aversion to the close, the one question that you need to ask, like if you're in a presentation, you're like, oh man, like I'm kind of at the end of my deal here. Like, how do I get to the next step? Like, how do I, without being like, so what do you think? You ask them this question. You can practice it, you can repeat it, you can drill it, and you can say it with total confidence. Have you seen enough to make a decision? That's it. It's such an easy question, and it's a bridge. It gets you into the close. Have you seen enough to make a decision? Like, you don't have to be some aggro, super type A. Are you ready to do it now? Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. You don't have to go all Hulkamania on him. Dude, have you seen enough to make a decision? No, completely understand. Let me continue with my presentation. Have you seen enough to make sense of the money? Are you ready? Are you ready to roll, man? Let's do this. Let's go. Try to initiate the objection and then solve the problem. If you feel like sales is a guessing game, then there's a lot you don't understand about sales. So my advice to you, Julian, is educate yourself on sales, buy sales programs, join our ambassador program. This gives you access. Cardone University, you can't touch right now for less than 10 grand. You can't buy it for 10 grand or for less than 10 grand. Right now, you can get access to Cardone University, plus you get access to weekly coaching with Grant and me and our team. Plus you get access to a live Facebook group where you can connect and interact with like-minded people who want to win. And you're going to get access to the ambassador section. A ticket you can't buy, by the way. A ticket to the ambassador section at the 10X Growth Conference. It's going to be here in Miami. We're working on a lineup of talent that will scorch planet Earth, and shockwaves will be felt in freaking Indonesia on this thing, man. So, like, we want to showcase your successes. So, like, you've got to get committed. You've got to set a target. You've got to find a mentor. You've got to join a group. And then the last thing you need to do is you've got to give back. Like, this show is about giving back. Like, this show isn't something that, like, I get paid for. Like, typically I'm in the middle of 7 different things, and somebody's like, hey, by the way, you've got a show in 10 minutes. And I'm like, well, how can I give? How can I give value? How can I help people? How can I use my story with where I'm at, with what I've seen, with where I've come from? How can I use that to give some guidance or just some more certainty that, like, dude, when you show up every day and you're pounding and you're grinding, you may not see anything come of it that day. But if you do that consistently over time, it pays off. So, like, you've just got to get on a track. You know, you've got to get on a track and you've got to dig in and you've got to put the blinders on and not get distracted. Too many times people are actually in a situation where they can win, but they get distracted by the Bitcoin or by the this or by the that or by they get distracted and they're not even going all in with where they're at. You know, they work a job where they have so much opportunity from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, and then at 6 o'clock they go off and they start some side hustle. And you're like, man, you could get more opportunity out of the job that you show up to every day if you just committed more. If you just showed up more, if you just hung around for a couple extra hours, if you showed up on a Saturday, even though you don't show up on Saturdays, and just like sat in the office and tried to figure something out, like there's opportunity everywhere, and I think people get distracted too fast. So, like, dude, you just gotta commit to where you're at. Like, it's follow the steps. Like, understand, learn sales, find a mentor, join a group so you have support. And then find a way to continue to give back to people. Like the 85% of what we do here, we don't get paid for. It's all a give back. It's all just information that we're using to give back. You know, people take our free information and have complete radical transformations in their life and their ability to produce income. A guy just hit me up. He's like, dude, since I'm following you, I went from 70 grand a year to 150 on Instagram. Like, dude, that's freaking awesome, dude. That is a game changer for people. You know, but don't stop there, man. Don't be a bitch. Don't stop. Like, you got to take that 150 to 1 million. You know, like, you got to go from $1 million a year target to $1 million a month target, which I did. I was like, man, I got to make $1 million a year. I started getting close to that goal. I'm like, man, I need to make $1 million a month. Guess what? I had $1 million a month, son. Damn, dude, and now it's real to me. Like, I'm like, damn, dude, it can happen. So you got to figure out, like, okay, who am I going to get advice from and information from? And does that support where I want to go and who I want to be in life? Okay. Number 2, dude, how can I get people around me that will support me? We did this mastermind group, this ambassador group last year. It was one of our most successful products that we ever offered because, I mean, the price point is ridiculous for everything that you get on it. 83% of the people in the group increased their income. 83% of the people, we had almost 1,500 people in the group, 83% of them increased their income in the time they were in the group. People were doing deals, people were getting clients, people were getting connected, people were supporting each other, people were holding people accountable. Like, there's still offshoots of the group that are existing today with people from the group. We ended up hiring a guy to run our global licensing program from the mentor group. We had somebody from this year's mentor group that signed up to become a licensee. So, like, you just got to get around people that actually are looking for opportunity. If you find people, a group of people that's big enough, that's looking for a group, that's looking for opportunity, and that is actually, like, optimistic about things, dude, freaking magic happens. Magic. Because most people aren't even aware that the people that they're surrounded with in their life don't probably even want to see them do well, because it's a reminder of something that they're unable to do on their own. It's a trip. People you love, like your brother, your sister, your family, dude. Like, these are some hard conversations, right? Like, oh man, why are you working so much? Dude, I had friends that were like, dude, why are you working so much? I hope this thing works out for you. This Grant Cardone guy, I hope he's not scamming you, and you're doing all this stuff and it's never gonna pay off. I think it paid off. So, like, just got to get committed to the deal, man. I'm just telling you guys what I did. I was able to get mentorship from Grant from a distance. We built a company where every day we show up, people are talking about winning and having successes. I've got people I'm connected to around the country that are all positive, that are all looking to crush and do things big, that I get connected with, that I get inspiration from. And then I try to come on here and I try to give back. I try to give back. I try to help people. I try to transfer what I've learned to somebody else, and hopefully you can do something with it. So, we got any more people on the call? Let's go to another caller.
All right, so we have Steven from Santa Barbara.
Steven, what's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks for calling into the show.
Take my call. Appreciate you taking my call, and I just want to say congratulations for all you guys do. Really appreciate that. A quick question for you. It might be more of a Monday show question, but you were talking earlier about returns with Cardone Capital. I am an accredited investor. I've actually sent my accreditation certification into Melissa.
Awesome.
And, I want to know, where can I get some historic, because you and Grant always talk about these great returns, and I know that the preferred offering is a lot less than that. And I know you can't promise the world, but where can I see some historical evidence on that? That's my first question. And then secondly, I'd just like to comment that, you talk about getting to 60 years old and having $2 million. I fell for the dream that was given to me by my parents, and I am 60 years old. I am worth $2 million net worth, but you know what? I feel like I'm broke.
Yeah.
So all you young folks out there that are listening, you don't want to end up like me, because I believed in the dream. I saved my money. I flew under the radar, all that stuff, and that's a mistake. Don't do it. Now I'm trying to play catch up. I'm not destitute, but even with the net worth I have, I feel like Grant says, the middle class is just not. There is no middle class.
Millionaire is the new middle class.
I need more.
Millionaire is the new middle class.
Yeah, and Santa Barbara, millionaire is nothing.
Yeah,
right.
no, like it's a highly affluent area. It's expensive. It's California, so you got a bunch of taxes you're getting banged on with. So, but you made a really good point. Like, the information that you're getting, you have to be sure that the people that are giving you the information are where you want to be and where you want to go in life. Like, Grant had a beautiful thing he said about the banks, the 401k thing, the banks that they tell you. He's like, dude, the banks will not loan you money to buy their own stock, but they'll loan you money to buy real estate. What does that say about the banks? Right? It's crazy.
Not much.
It's crazy. I won't loan you money to buy stock in our bank, but I have enough faith in this property, in this deal, to loan you 75% of the money for the deal. It's crazy, dude. For the historical information on the fund, if you go through the portal on the site, you should have access to that. Then you can see what the returns are. Even in the book, where's the portfolio book? We have one of those in here? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, some of the deals we got in were just ridiculous. I mean, like, here, let me see.
Yeah.
Cash on cash, 40% for Harbor Bay. Harbor K was, let's see, 53% cash on cash. I mean, dude, like, this deal that I'm in with him, Stewart, which we just refinanced, and I got like $400K out of. 53.8%. 47.9%.
I'm an asset manager, and I've done a couple doubles from. I work for an equity partnership. We've done a couple doubles over 2 years. I mean, it's amazing. I believe in it. I'm just not real bullish on California anymore.
Yeah, well, we're not buying anything in California, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, I appreciate the call, Stephen. That's great feedback. I'm so glad that you shared your story about where you're at, and for some of the folks that are on the show right now and that are watching. That is the trap. Like, you get to 2 million and you plan and you chart and you do everything to prepare so that, man, by 65, I can have a couple $1 million and retire. And then you get to 60 years old and you're like, man, this isn't enough. Like it's not enough to support the lifestyle that I want to have. So you've got to get the right information. You've got to have the right mentor. You've got to be around a group of people that'll support you. And then you got to give back because, dude, the universe rewards that stuff, man. Like giving back and helping people out, like you never know when that stuff's going to come back around. It makes you sleep good at night. You know, like we have great products here. They help people. Like we don't scam people out of stuff. When they want their money back, we give them their money back. Like 99% of people win with our products. Like it's 99. The people that don't win are the ones that buy it and don't use it. Like they never even they'll buy the book and they don't even crack the book. They buy that real estate book, they don't even open it. So like, dude, that feels good. It feels good to come on and do this show and have people hit me up after and go, hey, thanks so much. You know, I had a question on this, and then I help them, and then 3 months later they're like, oh my God, remember when you answered me that question? Like it changed my deal, got a new job, now I'm making twice the money. Dude, those are deposits that I'm like, okay, hey man, like we're doing more than just them making money here. And it feels good. It feels good. We have fun. We have a good time, and people are winning. And we want the same for you. We want you to win. And so that's why we put this ambassador program together. It's by everything that we got in there, it's a loser for us. Cardone University alone, we sell for 10 grand. The whole program's $1,000. It's $995. Get you a ticket to the Growth Con in a section that nobody else but our ambassadors can sit in. We want them to sit there because we want to be able to highlight your successes. We want to be able to put you on the big screen, the Jumbotron, in front of 35,000 people and be like, hey, yo, this is Johnny. He's the video guy. And in our mentor program, he went from 10 grand a month to 15 grand a month. That's 60 grand a year. And he did that in a 12-week period of time. Like, we want to share those stories because that's why I share my story about like this big score that I had this week, because it should inspire you, dude. If you feel envy or hate when somebody's sharing success with you, then you will struggle having success because you're going to get focused on everybody else and everything else that's going on around you, and you're going to start hating. You're going to start getting envy, dude. Envy is an admission that you know you're capable of more and you're not doing it. So, like, watch yourself. We got any more? No. All right, that's it, guys. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this show. Don't wait. Don't be patient. Don't follow the long-term, the safe play. Go all in, dude. Go all in now. Like, make the sacrifices. I had no idea when I was writing those checks in those first real estate deals where it was going to go, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I kept showing up. I kept learning and watching from Grant. I kept relying on the people around me to support me when I didn't feel like showing up. I didn't feel like making the call. You know, I wanted to stay home. I wanted to call in sick. Like, I relied on the people around me. And now I'm in a position where I can give back. So 3 things you got to do. Find a mentor, find a group, and give back. Mentor program, grantcardone.com/ambassador. We want you to be in our ambassador program. It's a great way for us to all connect, like-minded, share goals, share successes, provide support and accountability through the tough times, and do something major. We major. Play in the big leagues, guys. Want to play in the big leagues, you got to practice, you got to invest, and you got to get around people that want to win. So I invite you to join our group, grantcardone.com/ambassador. Every Tuesday we meet, and we just wrap out, we share successes, and we answer questions and help people get along the way. So I better see you there. We're going, let's see, what do we got this week? We got Boston coming up this week. We've got Mexico City. We've got LA. We've got Vegas. We've got Boise, Idaho. Anybody knows what that's about? We got a lot of stuff happening, so guys got to just get in the jet stream and roll with us because we're doing big things here, and we want to have you along for the ride. So remember, the only people that condemn the hustle, your hustle, money, are the people that have already given up on all those things themselves. We'll see you next week. This is Young Hustlers.
I've doubled my business in the first probably 2 months of the program.
Before the program, I was struggling to find leads and really build my network marketing business. Now, since being in the program, I'm number 16 right now on the leaderboard in my company with hundreds of thousands of promoters.
Hey, welcome to our Friday mentoring show. Welcome, welcome. Jared Glant here. Good to have you guys here. We got a bunch of people joining us around the world.
98% of you said that you'd do the group again. Would you do the group again?
You guys need to be here at the next GrowthCon and take advantage of the mentor group. Just an amazing, life-changing experience.
The big thing about this group I want to tell everybody is the people I've met. I've expanded my network so far already, I can't even explain to you I was in this little shell.